I want to welcome everybody to the call. We have a special treat for you. We have the one and only CEO of North America, Miss Betty Perez. She's going to be going over this special training, what's in store, what's coming to you, and we're just really, really excited right now. So without further ado, I'm going to be introducing the CEO of North America. She is a great friend of mine. We've been friends for 17 years. We started our career together 17 years ago, right here in Irvine, California. 17 years ago, we met as strangers. The funny, ironic thing is we both got promoted to the first position. It would be like a manager position here in RIMAN. We both got promoted to the first position of manager. We walked the stage at this little office, got a little paper certificate saying, congratulations on your first promotion. And 17 years later, look where we are. We were able to flourish as industry specialists here in direct sales. Today, Betty runs a multi-million dollar, over $100 million a year business here just in North America alone. And she is working hand in hand, day and night, really getting us the results we need, getting us that different results, right? RIMAN is different, right? Experiencing that difference. And she is at work, behind the scenes, behind closed curtains, making sure RIMAN is always staying ahead of the curve, bringing that difference and being a game changer. So I think my part here is done. I want to introduce the one and only, the woman of independence, woman power, our North America CEO, Miss Betty Perez. Miss Betty Perez, are you there? Welcome to the call. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And like you said, we've been colleagues for quite some time, but more importantly, we're friends. And it's just so incredible that we get to do this together. And I look back as I reflect on the past, less than 1 year that you and Tim have been with us. And I look at this incredible team that is on Zoom. It's so special. It's so special that we get to do this and bring these incredible products to people, every single day. So I am super excited to be on today. I'm super excited to share with you a little bit of just my perspective, my viewpoint on what makes RIMAN different. That is really what we're going to be discussing here today. I had a moment over the past month where I was just, I was by myself and I was just reflecting on everything that RIMAN has. And the truth is, it came out of a moment of necessity because, there are so many times throughout the day where I'm asked, how is it that RIMAN is different, or tell me the RIMAN story. And, I don't know about you, but if you've been with us for, let's say 90 days and you've learned a bit about RIMAN and you've attended our product universities, I struggle to pick what I'm going to talk about. Okay. And let me explain what I mean by that. Yes, we have our very simple message of the fact that we are, our origins are K-beauty. And yes, K-beauty it is trending, but make no mistake about it. You guys have heard me say it's a tradition. It's a tradition that has stood the test of time, where the Korean woman has been practicing a methodology of skincare. And, because of social media, because of the internet, we now have this beautiful tradition that has been practiced for, tens of thousands of years, and we get to package it in this bottle, and we get to share these bottables that is in essence a family tradition. We get to share with the world, and it's really, really incredible. And, of course, we are so nature rich with our heritage ingredients that we proudly stand on, the giant Byung pool and the Jeju lava energy water. And the fact that we get to have this incredible technology, nano liposomal technology, that allows your skin to maximize these awesome ingredients and actually literally get your money's worth, that results in a difference that people absolutely love. So yes, there is this simple high level explanation of RIMAN, but the reason why I share that I struggle is because, you see, I know, just like if you've been with RIMAN for 90 days plus, that there is so much you want to share with people. There's so much to talk about. And so, you kind of have to pick and choose, like, do I want to tell you more about the water? Do I want to tell you more about the plant? Do I want to tell you about our incredible lab? And so, what I did is, I did put together just some key points on that really explain and showcase the RIMAN difference from a factual standpoint. Because if you know me, and as we get to know each other, this is just me, okay? I'm a little bit of a skeptical person. I need data, I need science, I need numbers in order to truly, believe things. And so in 2022, when I got the call from Mr. Danny Bay, our president of sales, and I got to meet our CEO and I got to meet others in RIMAN, and I was living my life. I was the president of North America for $1 billion company. And prior to that, I was a co-founder of my very own company that, we did over $1 billion in sales as well. Over the course of time, they kept telling me, look, RIMAN is different. RIMAN is different. And, if I had heard it once, or twice, I would have been like, okay, it's a nice tagline. I get it. Every company has a tagline or something they like to tell, but I kept hearing it. RIMAN is different. RIMAN is different. RIMAN is different. And finally, I just said, look, if you're going to hang your hat on the fact that you're different, tell me why. Okay. Tell me why you're different, because at that moment, I had the incredible opportunity, but I didn't know then, right? I was just learning about RIMAN, to partner with this company. And it was going to be a big decision for me, just like it was a big decision for you. And so I wanted to know, factually speaking, tell me why RIMAN is different. And I looked him in the eye and I said, tell me, I want to hear it. And more importantly, I want to see it. And so that is what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you some facts of why and how RIMAN is different. And, before I dive into all of the information, I can summarize it with 3 words. Okay. 3 words that I truly believe the RIMAN difference stems from. And like anything in life, it's really your mindset, it's your philosophy. And I've picked these 3 words, and I didn't pick them lightly, to really the essence of why RIMAN is different. Okay. And it's these 3 words: rethinking, reimagining, redefining. Okay. And these words came to me from one of my favorite authors. His name is Adam Grant. He's an organizational psychologist. If you've ever had a chance to read his books or listen to his podcast, he's amazing. But he has this book, it's here in my office, about the art of rethinking. And he talks about how, in life we're taught to think, and that is obviously critically important. It's always good, to really process your actions, your thoughts, your words. But he said, as we mature in this life's journey, just as important as it is to think, it's so important to always stay open to rethinking. Okay. And I want you to kind of process that, to have the ability to be open-minded to whatever you thought was the way, that there could be a new way. And he said, really, if you stop to think about it, it is in the art of rethinking where things are reimagined. And in reimagining, you have new innovation, you have something that, used to be done a new way. And in that, industries are made, products are made, truly things are redefined. And I love that, because truly that's where it starts. RIMAN is on a path to redefine skincare, to redefine, what it means to have the results that you're looking for. But when you work backwards, that redefining skincare started in reimagining skincare. And that reimagining skincare started in rethinking in the way and why people choose skincare. So, these 3 words, I truly believe capture the essence of our chairman and all of RIMAN and how they do things. So that said, let me walk you through some points that, my hope today is, some of this you've heard, but maybe you'll be able to process a little bit more as we give you some more context, and then you'll be able to share those, with the individuals that you're looking to talk to RIMAN about, because truly we have something incredible. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I've got a few points lined out that truly will allow you to look anybody in the eye. Okay. And this can be a little bit scary. So I just want to I want you to picture this. Actually, I'm putting my Zoom on the mode where I could see more people, because I want you to just for a second, you and I just, pretend like we have a moment. It's just you and me in the Zoom room. And I am so confident to tell you this following statement. Okay. So just me and you, and I'm telling you this right now, you will never find another RIMAN, okay? You will never find another product like RIMAN, ever. And I can tell you this as a fact, okay? Not as an opinion, not as my opinion. Factually, you will never find another product like us. And I'm going to tell you why, okay, over the course of these couple of points. Number one, let's start with this point, rooted. We are rooted and we were born through innovation. Innovation is at the heart of what we do here at RIMAN, and you've heard of this before. And I want to just give you a little bit more context, because back in 2022, when I was looking at the company, for the very first time, this is something that absolutely blew me away. And I want to share with you why. Number one, it's the fact that we have a company that we own, okay? RIMAN has a company that RIMAN owns called Ask. And Ask company, look, it's basically RIMAN. However, there is a reason why Mr. On set this up as its own entity, okay? Because he truly wanted the individuals that work for this company to understand that they have one responsibility, one thing and one thing only, and that is to develop the best and newest and most proprietary products for RIMAN. Okay, so it was a very clear distinction that he wanted to make. Look, there is RIMAN, the distribution company, and then there's your job to make the best products for RIMAN. And in this company, what he did is he went out and he sought experts, medical doctors, scientists, researchers, the very best from different fields to come together and be part of this board, to work for Ask Company. And their job is to research, to develop, and to innovate. That is it. Now, of course, they know, because the fact that we're in this incredible industry of direct selling, of network marketing, it is important. It is context. We are not a product that sits on a shelf. Okay, because of the way we sell our products, it is important for everybody in our company to know, from doctor to scientist to accountant to anybody in corporate, to understand that we sell this through direct sales. We sell this through network marketing. But nonetheless, their job is to ask questions. That's why it's called Ask Company. Go out there and just pose the question and then go and find the answer. And you see, the reason why this is very impressive is because you don't see companies, set up their own company that's dedicated to R&D until truly, many years in. And this is something that RIMAN did from the very beginning. So when you hear about Ask, just know the commitment to innovation, the commitment to ensuring that what we have is absolutely scientifically backed. Now, number two, resolve. Resolve means committed. Resolve means like this is something you're going to stand on when you have resolve. And we are committed to exclusivity. Here's the thing. We have over 12 patents. I actually think it's 16 by now, but we have over 12 patents. Okay, let's just have that number for now, but we're always working on more in all of our products. You've also heard this before, but I want us to take a moment to process what that means. Okay, and I went ahead and I put the definition of a patent on here. Okay, this is straight from the internet, so you can find it yourself too. A patent grants the patent holder the exclusive right to exclude others from making, using, importing, and selling the patented innovation. Okay, innovation means you've made something new for a period of time. Okay, so we have 12 different patents on our product. What does that mean? Okay, this in itself right here, I could stop the presentation and say, look, when I tell you that you're never going to find another RIMAN, this right here proves it. We have 12 patents in our products. That means that nobody else has had what we had. I mean, when you think about it, you're granted a patent because basically the government agrees with you that what you have is so new, it's so different, that here's your certification that says you have a patent on it. And we have this awesome brochure that's available in your back office where you can actually open it up and you can see the different patents that we have on what they are. And there's one in particular that I love, and it's the beautiful herb story. And so we've got a patent on that, you know, on the fact that we have giant Beyond Pool and the story behind it. And there's so many other things. I'm not going to get into it right now, but this is something you can proudly say, and you can confidently have this in your own confidence in the product, and to know that your products have patents on them. Now, one of the products that we are the most proud of, that really just gives us so much to stand on, is the fact that we reinvented a plant. Okay. Some of you guys have heard me say this, you know, I like to just tell people, look, if you're on the edge of innovation as a company, that's awesome. If you're on the, you know, if that is a part of your ethos, that is important. However, we don't just follow innovation. We're not just on the edge of innovation as a company. We are innovation. Okay. And the reason why is because we literally created our own plant. Okay. We created a plant. We took one of the most incredible plants known to skincare, and we've developed our very own strain of this plant. Now, it is most commonly known as Centella asiatica. In Korea, it's called Byongpul. In other parts of the world, it's called tiger grass, right? And this plant is one of the only plants that has so many medical journals, so much scientific backing that says yes, from the medical professional group, that says yes, Centella asiatica does help you retain more water in your skin barrier, which we know hydration is one of the key elements to maintaining a youthful appearance. It is scientifically known that Centella helps you retain water. That's one thing. It is also scientifically proven that the plant has anti-inflammatory properties. So much so, that's how it got its name, tiger grass, right? So when tigers are wounded, Centella, by the way, in Asia grows very rampantly. It is everywhere. And when tigers are wounded, they innately know to roll in this plant for its therapeutic benefits, and it heals them. I mean, I don't know that tigers say, hey, this plant has therapeutic benefits, right? But they know innately in nature that this is going to heal them. And so, you know, the fact that this plant has that level of therapeutic ability, you know, is massive. And so you've created your very own strain of this incredible plant that is known to be super, super helpful to skincare. And we have a patent on it for 20 years because, again, we've innovated it, we've developed it. So this is a massive, massive, massive deal. Okay. In addition to that, because Byongpul, giant Byongpul, is at one of our heritage ingredients, it's at the core of every single one of our products. One of the things that Mr. An, as an incredible businessman, wanted to do was to ensure that we have as much control on the supply chain of this incredible product ingredient. So one of the things that he said is he wanted to be vertically integrated, especially after COVID hit. You know, having control of your supply chain is one of the things that you could do to ensure that you've got the ingredients that you need, you know, especially something that is so fundamental to our products. So, you know, his goal was to be vertically integrated, and we should be vertically integrated by the end of this year. It is something that RIMAN has been working on. What does vertical integration exactly mean? I'm sure, you know, some of you know. If not, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit. It basically, bottom line, means that you control every step in the process from seeding it to the delivery of the product, right? So we control everything. And the way we're doing that is because we recently, RIMAN bought over 100,000 square feet of land in Jeju Island. Okay. Now, Jeju, if you've been with us for over 30 days, you've heard of it. Jeju is an island right off the coast of South Korea that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The UNESCO Foundation, you know, it's an organization that deems certain places in the world and or things incredible, beautiful, that the world has to protect them. And Jeju is one of those places that the world has said, hey, this is something that we absolutely have to protect. And so if I can get sharing rights back, thank you. Here we go. So we built a smart farm, or we are building a smart farm right on the island. And so this is actually a render of what it's before it was starting to be built, what it was going to look like. And so we're almost done with it, and we're super excited because, you know, when we go to RIMAN Village and when we go to Korea, which we've done in the past, right? This is going to be a part of the tour where you'll be able to tour the smart farm. And so, you know, in order to grow this plant in a sustainable way, because sustainability is important to us, especially given the fact that our heritage ingredients are coming from such an island, you know, a smaller island, that of course, you know, it's got to be protected in all its right. So one of the things that RIMAN has done is we are sourcing our smart farm technology from one of the most advanced places for smart farm technology in the world, which is in Europe. So just recently, this past month, your chairman, your owner, Mr. On, he went out to the Netherlands with the CEO of Aspace and one of our doctors, Dr. Suh, who, by the way, can't wait for our RIMAN family here in North America to hear more from him. He is an incredible researcher, scientist that often speaks at universities in South Korea. I've actually been to some of his teachings, and he's incredible. So they flew to Europe, to the Netherlands, to source smart farm technology that specializes in something called horticulture, which is the science and art of cultivating plants in a sustainable way. So you can look this up. Europe is a leader in smart farm technology and just generally in eco-friendly technology. And so this is actually where we're sourcing our technology from for the smart farm. Again, you know, what does that mean? You just think about the commitment to creating the best, doing things in a sustainable manner. This is just huge. Now, here's another big point, rapport. We have partnerships with government-funded organizations, okay? This is a massive deal. Okay, when I was hearing the story of RIMAN, they were telling me all the different partnerships and access that they have. It really is incredible. You know, first of all, let's talk about South Korea. South Korea is one of the most advanced countries in the world. I mean, you think about it, right? South Korea is the home to Samsung, Hyundai, Kia, LG, and so many others. Okay. South Korea is it's a very advanced country. And so, you know, when you think about the fact that RIMAN has partnered with organizations that are government funded, it's a big deal. Okay. It's like if we were just to bring this home and say, hey, we have a partnership with, you know, a US government funded organization, that's a big deal. And South Korea, yes, it's an ocean away, but it is a super advanced country. And so, you know, one of the partnerships that we have is with the Jeju Lava Energy Water Center. So back in 2007, I'm sure you guys have heard, if not, this is a really fun story. You know, they discovered that in the bedrocks of Halasan Mountain, which is a volcano, and it's the tallest volcano in Jeju Island, they discovered that there was water that was trapped there for 400,000 years. And this water had just been landlocked, and they said, wow, we can actually go and source this water and use it. And so initially the government just, you know, didn't allow anybody to touch this water because they wanted to study it. And with time, they did allow only certain amount of companies to directly access this water. And they were going to use those resources for more research on the water. And we are one of those companies where we have direct access to this water, so much so that we've even set up our own lab next to it. So again, this water center that when you go to Jeju, to RIMAN Village, we tour you through it. Okay, it is government funded, and our lab is right next to them. We're in there all the time looking at the latest research. And so again, that's a big deal. Now, another big piece is CRIB, okay, the Korea Research Institute of Bioscience and Biotechnology. So this is also a really cool story. Back around 2007, there was a big oil spill in South Korea, and the government was looking for a technology that was harsh enough to remove oil, but gentle enough to not kill any marine life. And so CRIB is government funded, okay? It's a research institute, and they came to CRIB and they said, what do you have? We need something that can help clean this up. And so there's a technology that they use to clean up that oil spill. And when, and of course, you know, RIMAN has known of this, Korea knew of this. And so our chairman, Mr. On, sought a partnership with CRIB to license this technology. And it took years. They, of course, you know, CRIB it's a research institute, they're government funded. They need to be very careful of any partnership. Long story short, we were able to attain this technology, and that is the technology that is in the Bodo Lab line. That is the technology that's in your body wash and your body lotion, you know, and so that is really special, you know, to be able to say that. Now, in addition to it, we also have done studies with some of the most prestigious universities in South Korea, the Seoul National University, Jeonbuk National University, and this other great university that, you know, I don't know how to pronounce, but these are, and I won't get into too much of the details of this, but there were studies done alongside this university. Imagine saying, hey, we did a study with, UCLA or UCI or one of these great prestigious schools, you know, and one of the studies showed that Giant Beyond Pool, our plant, your plant, what is patented, right? What we own, what we created, has anti-wrinkle and brightening effects that are just greater than normal centella asiatica. That's really what that means. And as far as brightening goes, that what they're referring to is hyperpigmentation, that it reduces hyperpigmentation. This was a study done. Another study that was done was the fact that Giant Beyond Pool has great anti-inflammatory properties. That's a big deal. Another study that was done was when you take compounds or extracts of our plant of Giant Beyond Pool, it actually creates lactobacillus, which is a healthy bacteria. It's one of the main strains that you find in probiotics, right? And this is great, obviously, for digestively, but it's also great topically because it creates a healthier microbiome. So these are studies that were done, you know, RIMAN, Giant Beyond Pool. This isn't just on the plant. This is on RIMAN's plant that there's a patent on. Again, massive point. So the fact that we have rapport with these organizations is huge. Another thing, resources. RIMAN has resources, okay? This to me is a massive deal. The fact that we have our very own lab where we could, you know, test things, we can do R&D. And in addition, at ASPACE, at our lab, which, you know, a lot of our directors have been to, those who've been to RIMAN Village, this is right next to the Jeju Lava Energy Center, as I was mentioning. We create the core essence of our products because that is super proprietary. That is our, you know, key, if you will, to the entire Busebu revolution. And so we actually make a portion of our formula and then send it off to Seoul at one of the most prestigious and reputable manufacturers to complete the process. So we own our own lab. These aren't things we rent. These aren't, you know, we're not tenants in any of this. Like, we own this building and the land that you're looking at. But more importantly, we test things and create things. So again, this is a massive deal. You just don't see companies that are 6 years and younger in this industry taking these steps to truly go out there and do what? Create products that give people the difference they love, okay? So everything I've spoke of just up to now is in regard to the formula, okay? We are obviously super intentional on creating the best products for the price that people pay, which is absolutely incredible. That is the result. Now, you know, we know that formulas are critical, but in the world of selling brands, the brand itself is just as critical. Okay, let's be honest. People like when things look pretty, when they're cool, when they can put it on stories and put it on social media. The brand itself is just as important. And so we do not spare anything in creating a brand, which, you know, in this industry it's very unique. It is very, very unique. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that we're doing right now to build this incredible brand. You know, number one is we're collaborating with the best when it comes to marketing. So, you know, we work with the company called Interbrand. It's a marketing agency. It's one of the best in the world. It's local here in the US. They set us up with the company called Pentagram that is on Fifth Avenue in New York. I've actually been to their offices. If you ever think of a New York, Fifth Avenue, Manhattan marketing agency, that's Pentagram. They work with some of the very best, you know, Christian Louboutin, Valentino, Lululemon, Starbucks, Tiffany, Saks, Wonka, Nike, SNL. I mean, these, you know, some of the most incredible brands that we value here in America. That is who Pentagram works with. This is just some, you know, they work with a lot of other brands. And actually Paula Schur, she was on Netflix for one of the greatest designers or something in that realm. You know, so she's been on Netflix for being a creative, and she's done a lot of other great things. She's one of the partners at Pentagram, and she is the lead designer and creative on our products. So we're working on a lot of neat things with them. In addition to that, we're also working with a perfumer. This is something we're super excited about. His name is Frederic Bertin. You've probably heard of this. It's been on Instagram a bit. You know, but he actually used to work at Louis Vuitton as a research and scientist, developing the scent. You know, he's a nose, he's a perfumer. He set up his own, consulting company. These are some of the brands that he works with, and we've just hired him to start working on signature scents for RIMAN. I'm sure you recognize some of these brands: Shiseido, Jo Malone, NARS. I'm sure they ring a bell. And this is the type of caliber that is working on your product. So, you know, truly RIMAN just works with the absolute best, you know, and, you know, it is all of this. It is the combination of all these points that I told you: roots, resolve, reinvent, rapport, reinforce, resources, reimagining, that ultimately leads to the RIMAN difference. You know, this is just an idea of the RIMAN difference. You know, we use Jeju Lava Energy Water in our formulations. Typically 70% of skincare is water. That's across the board, because you need that to formulate the products. And, you know, most companies are using distilled water, which is great. It's clean water. It's basically water without minerals. Your products are using Jeju Lava Energy Water, which is mineral-rich water. In addition, of course, our giant Byongpul extract, which is different, and it's so much nature, plant extracts, essential oils, vitamins, antioxidants, and so much more. So the RIMAN difference truly allows people to experience the difference that they absolutely love, you know, because at the very end of the day, everything that we build, everything that we do, you know, our customer, all they care about is the result, right? But what is so neat that I wanted to share with you today is you have so much to back up every offering that you make to somebody. When you're offering somebody this active cream, when you're offering somebody this booster, this serum, you know, anything, like everything I just spoke about is what has gone into these products, you know, and they deliver these incredible results. I mean, look at this, right? This is, you know, your fearless leader, Mr. Tim Herr. You know, and what an incredible difference that he experienced in the short time that he has been here, you know, with RIMAN. So, you know, this is ultimately what it's about. There's a lot of skincare out there. There's a lot of personal care out there. But one thing you can rest assured is that, you know, our chairman, you know, Mr. On, and the entire RIMAN team, truly, when they create a product, okay, they are asking themselves, why does the world need another booster? Why does the world need another serum? Why does the world need another cream? Why does the world need another moisturizer, shampoo? Why? Right? Unless it's truly curated to give people the difference they've been looking for. You know, we totally understand. We are so aware. I am so keenly aware, after being in this industry for 17 years, that look, the first purchase that somebody makes of RIMAN, okay, it is not necessarily on RIMAN's own merit. It's not. You know, the beautiful thing about this industry, network marketing, direct selling, is we know that that first purchase, many times they're making it because of you, right? It is your friend, it is your family member. They believe in you, they want to help you, they're excited for you. And yes, you know, of course, RIMAN has to make sense, or whatever it is they're trying has to make sense. But at the very end of the day, they're doing it to help you. We know that, right? So here's the thing. What truly we want to help you with the most, okay, is that second sale, that third sale, that fourth sale, and on. Because, okay, that first sale, we know it came because of you. But here's the thing, no matter who it is, your friend, your family, your sister, they're most likely 90% of people are not going to repurchase unless the product actually worked for them. Right? It's where you get the, hey, you know, I'm so happy I actually bought that from you. You know, I didn't know if I needed this, but this worked, so I'm going to buy it again. That is truly what we focus on. We focus on that second sale, that third sale, and on, you know. And one of the things too, you know, and I'm going to stop here. There's so much more that I could share, but I want to be mindful of everybody's time. But one of the things that, you know, the research has shown is that K-beauty is absolutely dominating right now, the space. Matter of fact, K-beauty products, the #1 region for K-beauty purchases right now, okay, this is very fresh data, is North America. North America is the #1 region for skincare, for K-beauty purchases. Matter of fact, in the last 5 years, the search for K-beauty was up 300%. Okay, what does that mean? That means that people today are looking for K-beauty products here in North America. 56% of North American women said that they are interested in K-beauty. 46% of Gen Z is already using K-beauty. Okay, and over 80% of women that tried K-beauty reported high satisfaction levels with their purchase. Over 70% of those people went on to repurchase K-beauty products. And in general, the trend that they see is that people spend about 20 to 30% more on K-beauty products. Here's the deal. K-beauty, yes, it's trending, but what you can be so excited about is the tradition that is true, that is time tested, that's been here for thousands of years. And the fact that, you know, while people are looking for this, and we are the #1 sponsored direct selling company in all of South Korea, we are the only K-beauty direct selling company in the world, right? And we're first to market. And, you know, we're less than a year and a half old. Truly, the timing for RIMAN couldn't be better, you know? And that's why when people ask me, you know, Betty, how are you doing? I am always like, look, I'm just excited. Like, I'm so excited right now because yes, we have something so, you know, incredible that's happening here at RIMAN, you know, and it's just so neat to be part of a company that is so committed, that is so dedicated to truly making sure that we give you all the facts, all of the, you know, just the truth and authenticity to stand on your 2 feet and go out there and share this with somebody and truly say, look, this really is a phenomenal product. And I promise you, you're never going to find anything like this. And you have all of the facts to back it up, you know? So maybe you're new with us. Maybe you're new to skincare and it's going to take a little bit of time, I'm sure, to learn everything. But, you know, how cool is it that you can really, truly, after today, hopefully you saw and heard, you know, enough to just give you that empowerment to just go tell everybody, look, just try it. You know, it truly is something incredible. The company has done something really good. And I'll just leave you with this, you know, when you look at all of this and you look at our prices, it really is incredible. It really is incredible. I mean, you look at all of the things that it takes to make these products. We have our lab, we have these government partnerships, you know, we have patents, we have all of these great ingredients, you know, everything I just spoke about, right? The truth is, these products are underpriced, in my opinion, okay? They are underpriced, but the reason why we're able to give the products at this price, which is a huge advantage in itself, okay? The fact that you give so much value for the price that you pay, like truly, you know, it's, if a product costs $35, we're giving them so much more than $35 in value. But here's the thing, okay? The reason why we can do this is because at the very end of the day, you know, the company, thankfully, prior to starting here in North America, they did so well in South Korea. So what we have to our advantage is just great volume. You know, it's a great success that RIMAN has already done. And so we're able to capitalize on that. So what I'm, you know, so basically what I'm telling you here is the fact that it's $35 or $45, you know, that's just a service of RIMAN. You know, it's the scalability and the economics of supply chain. But the truth is, these products truly, they are worth so much more with everything that they have. But, you know, that is one of our core principles, is to truly give everybody these products at an attainable price and just wow them with so much value. So I will leave with this. Okay. Yes, our products are incredible. They are the difference people are looking for. But truly, you know, everybody here today is the difference that we've been looking for. And while we are on the search, on the journey to create different skincare, we're also on the journey to create something very different within this incredible space that is direct selling, that is network marketing. And there's no doubt that we're going to do it together. So that said, thank you so much.